Democratic Party, we're watching you. We will not continue to be disrespected by the Democratic Party.
Welcome back to Keeping Real Reality. It's your man, Will Win, once again. Today I'm talking about the migrant crisis going on in America. You know, it's a lot going on all over the nation. I mean, from Detroit to Chicago to Denver, some parts of Clayton County, Georgia, New York City, Texas. It's a lot going on. You know, they're taking the migrants, they're busting them in from some cities to, I guess we'll call them migrant-friendly cities, where they're housing these migrants, some for free. You know, they're getting benefits. It's all kind of things going on. The Biden's campaign is getting a whole lot of backlash from this. So we gonna impact it all today on Keeping Real Reality. Hey, check.
Democratic Party, we're watching you.
Yeah.
We are disappointed. We are angry.
Yeah.
We are offended. And we feel like we're being mistreated, misused, and disrespected. We will not continue to be disrespected by the Democratic Party. As I said yesterday, and I'll say today and tomorrow, if you're an independent candidate, Green Party candidate, Republican candidate, now is your time in this city.
Joining us now,
Making it political is a whole nother thing. Now we sit here and we make it political now. What we're doing is essentially giving them what they want. It ain't about the Democratic Party. We don't have to name parties, even though, right, it's the Democratic Party that's running this. But let's call out names. Joe Biden. Hey, look, man. If you can do something about it, this is something you need to do something about. Period. All right? Whether he's a Democrat or Republican. We're not going to make it political, because once you do that, then you allow yourself to be used by these political machines. You dig what I'm saying? Real talk. Because if you ask me, the things that she's talking about, the things that she's complaining about, it's been a problem, and people have been complaining about that problem with the Democratic Party for a long time, especially recently, and saying that how they've been treating, how they've been voting for that party and not been getting anything. Now, me, I don't have a dog in the race. I want the person there that's going to do right. You know what I mean? Let's check what she's talking about. Because, you know, she's in Chicago. These people have moved in on her doorstep. So now she's feeling affected by this effect and cause of the border being let loose, by the doors being taken off the house, per se. You know what I mean? For real. But check it.
there, Kata Truss. Kata, it's really great to have you. Tell me what you are frustrated about specifically.
Well, one of the things that I'm frustrated about is the fact that the Biden administration is not handling the migrant crisis in a way that is good for them or the cities that the migrants are being sent to. I certainly don't want to demonize the migrants, because not a lot of what is happening is their fault. I think that our mayor, our governor, as well as President Biden, has to step in and make some changes to what is happening right now. Right now, it seems as if our borders are just open and that people are freely coming in, and that there are no laws that are being followed in terms of immigration. And so what is happening here in Chicago is that we are seeing our cities.
Now, what you got to think about, if there are no laws being followed by immigration, that means somebody breaking the law. Because there are immigration laws. You know what I'm saying? If the laws aren't being enforced, that means somebody's breaking the laws. Real talk. So right now you got some freedom riders, as I'm going to call them, what they call themselves, the God something. We're going to talk about that later on. But it's a caravan of a posse, really. A caravan of people going down, patriots, whatever you want to call them. But they're going down to handle the problem at the border by themselves. You know what I mean? They're doing it by themselves. They say they're going to go support. They're going to hold it down. They say it's going to be a peaceful thing, but we're going to see how that turn out. But here in Chicago, that's a whole nother beast. These people got these migrants sleeping outside the police department, sleeping outside of schools, then parks in New York. You know what I mean? We're going to see how they handle it. We're going to talk about it. But check.
Spend up to $48 million a month to house and take care of migrants. Now, when you talk about the Black communities here in the city of Chicago, and you talk about the years of disinvestment in our communities, in our schools, and all around us, and you see this amount of money being spent to people who have come from outside of this country, that is a problem for us. And I think that one of the reasons I got involved in this is because when you talk about coming into the Austin community, a community that has already been blighted and disinvested in, and talking about one of the major crown jewels of the community, you're talking about taking it away from the community to house migrants at a time where we're seeing increased crime because our children don't have things to do, they don't have jobs, and we're seeing this.
And it's cold as hell out there, for real. In Chicago cold, with that wind hit you, it's a whole nother different cold, frostbite cold. And if these people are not coming from places where they're used to being warm, oh man, they're gonna end up eventually going in somewhere. It's not a good idea, man. You just can't open your doors. You can't just take your doors off the hinges of your house and not expect people that's cold not to just walk in. It's almost like a free invitation. Real talk. But check.
Money being spent, and it's being spent on other people in communities that could really benefit for that money. Here in Chicago, I was sitting in a meeting with the Board of Education, and they talked about a $391 million shortfall that they're going to have this upcoming year. And when you look at the money that has been spent on the migrants, you know, we have a problem with that. And I heard someone say earlier that
hey, I don't have a problem with how much money you spending on the migrants. The problem that I got when I'm keeping real reality, that's what I'm gonna do. I got a problem with you spending money on the migrants if you haven't spent anything on people that are already there in those said communities that are suffering. Okay, if you got the money, you want to feel free-hearted like that, you want to spend that on the migrants, okay, you the government, that's your decision, all right? But to look over the people that's already there, I can't get with that. The people that have been there, the people that have been suffering there. And you might say, well, no, they got the opportunities. All they got to do is get up. Well, hey, all those people had to do is stay where they were. There's a lot of if it coulds and if you should in this situation. But first is first, right? And then what's happening, you're going to look up. We're going to be the third class citizen, meaning, hey, we are already what, number 2? Meaning white people as a percentage is the highest percentage of population in the United States. Now, if this keep coming at this rate, eventually, real soon, we'll become number 3, if not 4. And then what? Then we totally out the mix. Now they really don't care about your vote. Now your vote really don't matter. Now they ain't got to give you a damn thing. And then what?
Here in Chicago, we're talking about turning away from the Democratic Party. I have already turned. I will be voting Republican this time around. And I don't think that that's just a sentiment of Carter Trust. I think that's the sentiment of a lot of people around the entire United States. And basically, you know, for years, the Democratic Party has taken our vote for granted, and they feel that they can continue to ignore us, not support us, not give us the things that we need in our communities, and we're going to continue to vote for them. We are not our grandparents. We're different. And when we see that you don't have our best interests at heart, we're going to go elsewhere. I'm going elsewhere.
Kata, that's a big statement. If President Biden were listening right now, or the White House was listening, what would you tell them to try to get your vote back?
I don't know that they can get my vote back. I think that one of the biggest problems with this whole situation is...
And see right there is you see the reporter try to, slip it to political. Hey, man, what can he say? It ain't about what he can say. It's about what can he do, really. And that's not a question. Do your job. Do what you're supposed to do. Really. Because right now, it ain't a job being done either way if you ask me. Real talk. But that's just, my opinion on this. But we gonna talk about another, man. Just check it out.
How much can you